this concept of management information systems, and we first started by trying to define management information systems. Today it's made up of 3 words. They're all kind of difficult to define. Managers, we said, they plan, they organize, they decide, they forecast, but it's kind of a nebulous thing. Management is kind of we know we see it, but it's kind of hard to define. We talked about information, right? Information is something that's been changed, so it's useful to us to make decisions. You'll see later solve problems, forecast, all those good things. And then we went back and we said, how about the third letter, which is systems, okay? And a system is an interrelated set of components that work together for some purpose. And we talked about different systems, and systems thinking is a way of thinking. We talked about the 5 areas, generally speaking, in a system: the purpose, its inputs, its outputs, and whatever outside the system that can affect the system, like the boundary and the environment. We said when we talk about an information system, okay, there are really 6 functions that every information system has to perform. Those 6 functions are generally capture. You need somewhere to capture the data to interact with the person, if you will. We need some way to transmit it, to move it around. We need to store and retrieve it so we can have it at a later date, the data, whatever it might be. And we need to manipulate it, we need to change it, and we need to display it. Okay, so those were some of the functions that we talked about. One slide that I kind of missed is, didn't really talk about the difference between information technology and information systems. Okay? Information technology is really, it is the products, the methods, the inventions, the standards. If you think about it, GPS is an information technology, right? It is an invention, right? It is something that it has a standard, global positioning system. GPS is a technology. Touchscreen is a technology. 802.11 ABG, that's Wi-Fi, that's a technology, right? Those things are all technologies. Those are things that come to be, right? Those are new innovations. Information technology drives the development of new information systems. You can buy information technology. You can buy hardware. You can't buy an information system. Why can't you buy an information system? Because an information system includes people, right? You can't buy people. You shouldn't be able to buy people. Okay, so IT components is hardware, software, and data. And if we think about it, information systems, and we'll talk about that 5-component framework, is the information technology plus the procedures and people. I can buy a system, like, for example, the course management system that is like information technology, right? That is Brightspace that I'm using. But I really don't know how to use it very well yet, so I'm going to learn that, right? I'm going to learn, and then it's going to become the information system, right? Because right now it's just kind of like sitting, okay? So when we talk about information systems, then, the 5-component framework is what we're going to use in this class a great deal. And this is a perfect slide to study. This is a great slide to study. When we talk about the 5-component model, the 5 components are hardware, software, data, procedures, people. We're going to spend some time on like hardware and software later in the class. And if you think about it, there's a beautiful symmetry to this, right? Hardware and software, that's the computer world, that's the computer side of things. And the right side is procedures and people, that's the human side of things. If you think about it, procedures are like software for people, right? Because procedures tell us how to interact in the information system. Software tells the hardware what to do. Spin, display this, retrieve this, fire up this microchip, whatever it might be. So those things, software and the procedures, are called the instructors, and the things that do something, are us and the hardware, the physical item. Okay, the physical item. Now, I think I may have mentioned this, but what is the hardest thing to change in an information? What is the hardest thing to change in an information? The people. Why? Why is that the case? Why would you say that's the case? What was that? People were difficult. I mean, I love my job. I love teaching. I'm also chair, though. And probably 90% of my headaches come from people, right? I would say not students necessarily, but people like him, right? So if we think about it, people can be difficult, and furthermore, people are resistant to change. Just generally speaking, you've heard of the concept of inertia. What's inertia? This is a physics concept. What is inertia? What is inertia? Come on. Yeah, you're on fire with that. Go ahead. Yeah, things in motion tend to stay in motion. Things at rest tend to stay at rest, unless acted upon by a force, right? So there's a thing in business world known as organizational inertia. Okay, organizational inertia. What that is that organizations tend to do the same thing way they always have done it, and same with people. Why do I need to learn this new system? This one's working fine, right? Why do you want to use Brightspace when, even when we're talking about changing to a new course management system, I've heard faculty say, well, I'm not going to, I'm done, I'm not learning something new, right? I've heard faculty say, you guys will be forced to do it because that's where your assignments will be. But I've heard faculty say that. I'm not learning something new. That's organizational inertia. This is definitely the hardest part to change. The easiest part to change is what, though? What's the easiest part of an information system to change? The other side of the coin, hardware. If that projector breaks, they can come in here 10 minutes, put in a new projector, and it's done, right? There was no complaining by the hardware. It just works, right? It's like changing a light bulb. So that's the easiest thing to change. Now, what we're trying to do, when we implement information systems, is we're trying to move work from this side, the human side, to the computer side. And that word, what that's called, is automation, right? Taking things that used to be done by humans and moving it to computers, okay? Why do we want to do that? Why? What are things that our computers are better at than humans? Why do we want to move work to computers? What can computers do better? Why? Yes?
They're more accurate.
Okay. So, more precise. What else? That's good. Give me some more things. What else? Go ahead.
Efficiency.
They're efficient. What do you mean by efficient?
It's quicker.
Okay. Faster. Right. They're faster. What else? What else? Do they make mistakes? Do computers make mistakes?
Sometimes
You say, yeah. Do computers make mistakes? Who made a mistake if a computer's wrong? The software, right? So they can do things over and over again very fast. They don't get tired. All those things. They can follow standards. They're not subject to being manipulated by someone who politically manipulates them. They don't have emotion. That's a great thing. That's very efficient. That's very structured. They're very good at structured things. What are humans needed for then? Why, if we say all these great things, they tend to be cheaper. People are expensive resources. They're hard to deal with, right? Why do we need humans then? What kind of tasks do humans deal with then? Yes. Okay, someone has to program it, right? You're right. But you're right. But what other kind of decisions and things happen in an organization that you can't do? What kind of attributes do we have? Why can't we be replaced? And people talk about robot replacement, right? It's going to have more and more of that's going to happen, but it's never going to be full. Yes.
Like processing,
What's that?
critical thinking.
Very good. I like that. Critical thinking. You think about it like, thinking deeply, judgment. Okay. Things that take imagination. There are tasks that are very well suited for computers, and there are tasks that are not so well suited for computers. If I say, well, I want you to, add up a column of numbers, that's a computer task. If I say, I want you to pick a shirt that matches with these pants best, it's usually, a person task, something like that, something that takes judgment, creativity. Now, when we talk about automation, there's a whole group of systems called self-service work systems. Okay? Because what organizations have been able to do is they've been able to push work that their employees used to do with to the computer side with the help of the customer. Okay? So things that employees used to do, now computer aided, the customer does for themselves. Self-service work system. When I say self-service work system, I use the system to serve myself. I don't need an employee. I don't need a clerk. So give me an example of a self-service work system. Yes, sir. Okay. So a couple things. And I know you think I'm old, but pay at the pump, is probably, I don't know, a last 20 years kind of thing, right? Pay at the pump. In New Jersey, they don't have pay at the pump, right? So against the law to pump their gas in Jersey, especially. So, what's that? That's how it should be? Yeah. You're a full service guy, huh? Okay, so yeah, pay at the pump. What else? Give me an example. Another thing, yes.
Self-checkout.
Okay, so that's becoming more prevalent at the grocery store, self-checkout. What else? What else? What was the, go ahead. Okay, very good. That's more, you're not making your own MTO, but yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's helping a little bit. Yes, go ahead. What else? How about the first one in the financial services industry? Because that's what the industry I was a part of, and I saw it. It was actually a little bit established before I got there, but it really transformed things. What was that? In the banking industry, you guys, Jordan? Yeah, the ATM. You know when the last time I was in a bank branch was? I don't know, 7, 8 years. Okay? That used to be a standard trip for everyone. Like every week I had to go to the bank, right? But ATMs, online bill pay sites, right? You think about it, all those things have taken that away. Websites, you think about online e-tailers, that's a self-service work system, right? You're checking yourself out, you're entering your own credit card, right? That used to be done by someone, that had to be done by someone. So all those are examples of self-service work systems. Now, those are good things, right? Those are good things because you think about it, I drive down employee cost. Some people like self-service work systems. Like I don't like small talk, I don't like that awkward small talk, like, hey, how's the weather? You know what I mean? So I prefer to work with a machine, you know what I'm saying? So that's good for me. Some people don't like that, right? There's a fear of it. But how about for the organization? Let's look at the organization side. Obviously the pro is that they reduce their employee cost. What are the cons though? What are the cons with it? What do you think? Like, let's take the ATM example. This is something that happened in the banking industry when I was still working in the banking industry that the bank wasn't really prepared for. It was an advantage we had when people had to come into the branch that we no longer have because we didn't see them anymore. What do you think it was? Yes?
Getting to know your customers.
All right, perfect. Why is getting to know your customers important?
Because it can help you either grow your business or know your business.
Very good. So one of the things that used to happen is people would come to the branch, so you'd make that small talk, right? You know that, hey, you have a son or daughter going to college. Well, maybe we'll talk about student loans, or maybe we're looking at a house, we talk about a mortgage, or maybe you're looking at retirement, you talk about retirement. Do we have our retirement planning services? You think about it, knowing the customer, right? Knowing the customer knew what banking needs that they had. And when it went to the banking, went to the ATM world, well, that wasn't so good. So, and this is why technology is great. So we implemented those technologies, ATMs. We saw that, hey, we didn't know our customer very well anymore. And they're not going to come into the branch just so we can know them, right? They're busy people. So how do we try to use technology to get to know them better? And this is really crazy what happens now. But back then it was kind of in its infancy. What do we do to try to get them to know them better? Have you ever got like a birthday card from an organization like you bought a card from? You ever get that? What the hell? They don't know it's my birthday. They don't care about me, right? That's them pretending to care about you, right? They have a computer system that says, hey, we save date of birth for these people, send them all a birthday card in April, so they think we care about them, right? We have all this information on them, all this data. You know where they spend their money. You know how much money they make or how much they deposit. We may know their relationships, like they're married, we know their address, we know how old they are, and that's an important thing because your financial needs change as you age. If you think about it, you know, when you approach retirement 55 years old, you're thinking about retirement. You know, we know if you have kids and they're thinking about college age. So we used to mine the data for those kind of facts. Now that was back 20 years ago. Think about the kind of things that you guys see today. And I'm not just talking like Amazon says, hey, you bought this, so I'm suggesting this. Have you ever seen like ads that are like scarily targeted toward you or what you looked at? It's crazy, isn't it? Like, this was like an aha moment that happened to me. This was last year. My wife and I were looking for a light for the kitchen. Right? You know, that's the kind of thing you do when you're married. Right? That's a big thing, right? So, anyways, we're looking for a light for the kitchen, and I'm on Facebook, and you know, the ads on the side, right, which are targeted to you. I don't know if you guys ever noticed that. If you're in your Gmail, they're targeted to you. Is a lamp, right? It's a chandelier, whatever it's called. And I said to my wife, I'm like, man, this looks like you. You know what I mean? I said, this looks like you. This looks like something you would like because it's expensive, right? So this looks like something you would like. And I pull her over and she's like, oh yeah, I was on the site, blah, blah, blah today, and that's the one I was looking at. So they know we're married basically, right? Obviously they do. Facebook knows we're married, but she was on another site looking at this lamp and they knew that like, she's my wife and she's thinking about this. So we're going to show you that same, you know, isn't that crazy though? You know what I mean? Doesn't that seem like invasive, right? But it's all based on like algorithms. It's all based on those relationships. It's all based on information systems. All right. So here's what we're going to do. It's really all the material that I'm going to have from chapter 1, but I'd really like you guys to try to break down some systems. So we have, let's see, I think we have 25 folks in here. So I'm going to do, let's do 8 groups. Okay, 8 groups. So you guys don't know like this. Because you don't need, yeah, I know. Ready? So you're 1, Randall. Go, you're 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've done this before. One, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I like that. All right, we're only going to take like 10 minutes to do this. You guys are only 2 1? Now you were 1, weren't you? Yep. So you guys, what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a system, okay, an information system. And I want you to look at it through the lens of this, through the lens of the 6 functions, and through the lens of the 5-component framework. You know, like break it up into its components. You guys know what I'm saying? Like we've done in class. Yes? Yes? No, you don't understand? You do understand. Dan, you understand? You understand this assignment?
Yeah.
Okay. For real? If I give you, like, okay, we did the Sheets MTO ordering system. You guys remember that? And remember up here I broke it. I said the purpose is to translate, you know, orders, and I said the input, you know, and output. Then I went through this and said capture is the touch screen. So I'm going to give you guys a system, and you're going to do that same thing. Just write it down quickly, all right? So what you guys do an ATM machine, okay? You guys do like the St. Francis student registration system, where you add and drop classes. You guys know what I'm talking about? I'm going to give you guys a general one, like a payroll system. You know, look at a payroll system. You can imagine what a payroll system is. Let's give you guys, we'll do, how about Amazon.com? Detail. You guys got it?
Yeah.
You know, the SFU, are you like this?
Yeah, we'll run, wherever he gets us, we'll run through everything you see on the.
You guys are gonna do Uber, you know what Uber is? Uber. You guys are gonna do like a help desk. You know what a help desk is gonna be? I mean, like you call somewhere and you say, I don't know what's going on with my computer. Help you fix it. You guys do eBay.
Bring a huge buying market together with a huge selling market. It creates hundreds of millions of dollars of commerce.
I think that just the color, like the color helps us. So that's kind of close to color.
Alright, so listen.
I want you to find an article in a newspaper, magazine, information website, or other periodical that discusses a technical innovation, its application or possible application in the business world. The range of topics is quite wide as it includes any subject that discusses the intersection of business and technology. So these are the examples. The assignment consists of both a written portion and a short presentation, about 5 to 10 minutes, okay? So you'll bring, when it's your day, you'll bring your paper to class, you'll hand it to me, you'll come up to the front of the class, should be some kind of visual presentation, right? Maybe a PowerPoint, maybe show a video, maybe use the whiteboard, I don't care. What I want you to do is describe the technology and its business impacts. I want you to talk about the 5 components, right? The hardware, the software, the data, the procedures, the people. The value added by the technology or the efficiencies created. The players involved. The time frame, because sometimes you might be looking at something that isn't yet implemented, right? Maybe it's not available for a month or maybe 5 years down the road. And anything that you found interesting or pertinent to that article. So I provided a bunch of websites, you know, that you can use or sources that you can use to try to find articles. But what I'd like you to do right now is if you go to Sign Up Genius, okay, these dates start on September 2nd, next Friday, all right? So we're going to have to do 3 presenters a day. If you want to be the first presenter on September 2nd, and everyone that presents on the first day gets a bonus point, you would click Sign Up. You would sign up and submit and sign up. And you have to enter your first name, your last name, your email, and then say click sign up now. And it'll reserve that spot for you. Does that make sense? Okay, so sign up Genius, pretty nice site. It's free. If you ever use anything for your organizations or clubs, you might like that. I want to do 2 of these, but only do 1 because we are running out of time. This is one I saw that's pretty cool. Let's see if the sound works in here.
Here's your smartphone and all of its data. Some of it is important, but a lot of it is just noise. We want to help you make sense of it by putting all that information in the right place at the right time. Introducing DOT, the physical push notification that tells your phone where you are so that it can understand your behaviors and patterns in the places that make up your life. All you have to do is download our app, place a DOT somewhere important, and watch as your smartphone sends you relevant information, streamlining and simplifying your day. Here's a few examples of what DOT can do.
Good music, right? right, so this product basically is a little physical dot, if you will, a hardware device that you can program, and when you get next to it with your smartphone, it will do some kind of action. Okay, so whether it's open a certain app, whether it is, post a reminder note, it will do something. So you are, you are basically programming your world around you, right? You're saying, I want to become, you're kind of like crazy, right? You're saying, like, when I go to here, make sure I brush my teeth, put up a reminder to brush your teeth. I think it's a little crazy, but it's a neat kind of thing. Now, I don't know what your thoughts are, but what applications do we have? There's some applications there. Do you have any other ideas for applications when it might be useful? None? None at all. Come on. Would you use it? No? Why not? Yeah.
But, it was like regular stuff, like texting to take the trash out. Text somebody, cool.
Yeah, you get a text. Yeah, that's true. But this is location specific though. Right while you're at the trash can, you get that text. So at that time.
I like reading that around now, like,
What's that?
I like reading my phone.
You don't carry your phone around with you all the time? No. I'm thinking there could be some applications for this for, like, I don't know, maybe, maybe like the medication thing, like take your medication, like maybe elderly or Alzheimer type of individuals, just don't maybe have a caregiver there all the time. Maybe the phone could like suffice as a caregiver in some instances. I think it probably has limited use, to tell you the truth, because I thought the same thing when I saw the garbage can. I'm like, well, that's just the text. But go ahead.
Or set reminders in your phone, anyways.
Right, I use life reminders. What I use. You guys, what service you guys use? What reminder service you use, or just Google reminders? I use life reminders. Yeah, that was yeah.
The only thing I can think of is life. She can place her little dots wherever she needs you to do something.
Yeah.
Because I don't do it anyway.
David, this is a good source of like new technologies. It's called Kickstarter, was the site that was from. You guys familiar with Kickstarter? Kickstarter is a crowdsourcing, open crowdsourcing site where someone could say, I have this technology innovation, and you can support it. Instead of getting $1 million in venture capital funds, they might get, I don't know, 50,000 $20 donations and raise $1 million that way to start their business. Go ahead, Kyle.
I just thought a use for the dot thing. I think it'd be kind of cool, like for like classroom use. Maybe like a project, and the teacher just forgets to remind you, the dot thing will remind you when you come into the class. Like every week, or every class period reminds you, like this is due in like 5 days, now it's 4 days.
That'd be a neat application. So if I program the dot to say, when you come in here, remember today's exam day, or that'd be awful. Be very appreciative.
No, it's a good idea.
It is a good idea. Yeah, it is a good idea. All right, I'll see you guys Monday. We'll start chapter 2 Monday. Have a great weekend. Stay safe.